There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, show recaps prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show. We are live for your SmackDown recap. Oh boy, WWE. Just doesn't seem like they could do anything right tonight. When it comes to the IWC, from the start of the program, from the the SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship match, which Gunther basically is the one that picked the referee. I don't know. It was pretty obvious that they were going to run this match and do this match into a triple threat at Night of Champions. But every decision that seemed like they made, the internet was not happy about it. Whether it was Cody retaining, which I don't really agree with how Gunther's been booked since he's been on SmackDown, especially how strong they made him look as being a career killer. But ultimately, like I said, they could pull a huge swerve at Night of Champions and put the title on Sammy. He is well liked over in Saudi Arabia. I don't know. It's a lot of factors. We didn't see Randy Orton in Missouri. I thought that was a little weird, but I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It's hard to tell. And then we had the Women's Queen of the Ring semifinal, the last semifinal match. What's going on, Kyle? Good to see you. I don't know. I definitely knew Liv was going to win, but I don't agree with having Jade Cargill involved, which I don't know. Maybe they're trying to set up SummerSlam with Jade and Charlotte. Makes sense with that, but I don't know. You got your women's world champion in the semifinals, and you want to book her strong. Obviously, she hasn't had a title defense, and then you have Charlotte go into the match looking really weak. So, for me, Liv was the right winner, but if she doesn't have anything to do, and she doesn't. So they want to put their champions on the card over in Saudi Arabia. But I don't know. I don't think they booked their champion. And then obviously we got Jey Uso beating Javon Evans. They did do a good job with the Javon stuff, carrying over the storyline from Monday, where Braun Breaker speared Javon. It was a decent match. It wasn't a bad match at all. I knew Javon wasn't ready to go to the finals. Still young, but he's got a promising career. Obviously, he's going to be in that picture for a while. Yeah, we're getting Jey Uso and Wwe Smackdown for the Night of Champions, King of the Ring finals. Before we get started, I will go ahead and run down the entire Night of Champions card that will be coming up next Saturday from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at 1 p.m. Eastern, first hour being on ESPN. For the Undisputed Championship, Cody Rhodes will defend against Gunther and Sami Zayn in a triple threat match. Hopefully this is the end of Cody and Gunther. It's going to be their fourth match, dating back to Crown Jewel last year when Cody beat Gunther there. He beat him in Italy. Tonight was, I don't know, I really wouldn't, he won, but Sammy's kind of fast. Yeah, so hopefully Cody and Gunther are done. Maybe they enhance the story with Sammy and Cody more. They've been telling a side story with them too, so we'll see how that plays out at Night of Champions. Rhea Ripley's out for Night of Champions, so Tiffany Stratton has replaced her and will defend the United States Championship for the first time that I can remember on a PLE against Jade Cargill. Seth Rollins will go one-on-one with Brian Breaker in a steel cage match. Trick Williams will defend the United States Championship against Ricky Saints. Then we have our Women's Queen of the Ring Finals. The Women's World Heavyweight Raw Heavyweight Champion Liv Morgan will go one-on-one with Io Sky. Winner will earn, well, I don't know if Liv wins. I guess she's going to go after both titles, but I don't think that's going to happen. Io Sky, if she wins, she will get a title match at SummerSlam of her choice. So interesting to see what they could do with that. If Rhea's going to be out past SummerSlam, could they make Io, or could they give Io the SmackDown Championship? We'll see what they do. That's definitely an option. And then in the men's King of the Ring finals, Femi will go one-on-one with Jey Uso, with the winner going to SummerSlam for a World Heavyweight Championship match. This one's definitely WWE has to show their cards with that one. They can't. They've been telling two stories with Femi, so they're gonna have to show their cards at Night Champions. Whether we're getting Brock and Nova at SummerSlam, don't think they really need to get away from that, but we'll see. Then Jey Uso, no doubt in my mind, he was going to the finals. I think he's got a really good shot to win the whole tournament now. So we'll see what happens with Jey. If he wins, who does he pick? Is he going to pick Cody Rhodes or Sami Zayn? It makes sense, I guess, if it was Sami Zayn. They kind of teased that a little bit tonight. Or will he stay on Raw and pick Roman Reigns to try to challenge for that leader spot of the Bloodline? We'll see which way they go with it. That is our 6-match card for Night of Champions. Will be coming up next Saturday from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at 1 p.m. Eastern, live on ESPN Unlimited. This is your SmackDown recap, live here on the EVP Show, Friday, June 19th, 2026. Hopefully you guys had a good Friday. We have one more SmackDown that's going to be 3 hours. That will be, remember, SmackDown will be taped from London. Monday Night Raw will be live from the O2 Arena in London, England, Monday. I believe it's at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then SmackDown will be taped the next day in London. So if you guys don't want to know what happened on SmackDown, definitely want to stay off of X. But it's going to be hard to do all the way till Friday. Looks like they're taping SmackDown on Tuesday. So they didn't announce any matches for, well, it looks like we could be getting JC Jane versus Paige. Is a possibility for the SmackDown next week. JC challenge Paige. And then we may be getting Julia. Julia called for a match with Kiana James, I believe it was. So that could be taking place next week, also in London, England. So they didn't make anything official, but I think those two matches should be happening next week on SmackDown. If you watch it live on USA, it will still be on at the same time on Friday, but it will be a tape show. So just be prepared for that. Tonight's SmackDown was live from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's run down some of the matches tonight. Undisputed WWE Champion American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defends his title in the first hour, commercial free, versus the Ring General Gunther with Sami Zayn as a special guest referee. Plus the Bloodline's main event, Jey Uso will face the Young OG, Javon Evans, in a King of the Ring tournament semifinal match. Let's see. And then the Queen of the Ring tournament semifinal match, the Raw Women's Champion, the Queen, Liv Morgan, goes one-on-one with the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Then we have a WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Weapon Up, Damian Priest and R-Truth versus the MFTs, Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga. Then we have a WWE United States Championship #1 contender match. Carmelo Hayes goes one-on-one with the Absolute Ricky Saints, with the winner going on to Night Champion to face Trick Williams. So the show opens up with Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett welcoming us. We see the arrivals of Cody Rhodes, Gunther, Sami Zayn, Liv Morgan, Javon Evans, Jey Uso, and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. We then take a look at the Undisputed WWE Championship picture with a video package, everything that has transpired over the last few weeks. This will be the opening match of the night, as I said, and will be commercial free. So let's go ahead and get it started. This is the first match of the night, the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Cody Rhodes defending the title against Gunther with Sami Zayn as the special guest referee. Sami Zayn makes his way out as he is the referee tonight, and he receives a huge amount of boos. Gunther then makes his way down to the ring, followed by the Undisputed SmackDown Heavyweight Champion, Cody Rhodes. As I stated, Sami Zayn is your special guest referee. So the match starts off with both men locking up. Gunther drops Cody Rhodes and begins to target his left arm. Cody then fights back with the right hand. Gunther nails Cody with a series of chops. Cody Rhodes then fights back again, but Sami Zayn tries to hold him back, allowing Gunther to hit a big boot. Gunther then gets a lateral press and goes for the pin, but Cody kicks out at 2. Gunther then drops his elbow down into the center of Cody's forehead. Cody then goes off jumps off 2 feet off the top rope and lands a Cody cutter, and then follows it up with a scoop power slam. Gunther gets back to control of offense, chops Cody Rhodes down from behind. He then applies a figure 4 in the middle of the ring. Cody fights out of the figure 4. Cody then goes for a quick roll up, but runs into a big boot from Gunther. Gunther then follows it up with a huge lariat. Cody spins over when he gets ready to land. Goes for the pin. Cody kicks out at 2. Gunther then goes for a power bomb, but Cody Rhodes counters and puts him in the finisher, the Crossroads. Then Cody Rhodes turns around and gets into an argument with the referee, Sami Zayn. There was a lot of arguing with Gunther, Sami Zayn, Cody, and Sami as well. Gunther kicks out at 2 from the Crossroads. Gunther then applies a sleeper hold from behind, and Cody Rhodes makes it to the ropes to break the hold. Gunther then shoves Sami Zayn, and then he powerbombs Sami, sends him to the outside. That's going to prove why everything that happened in this match. Cody Rhodes then hits a super cutter to Gunther. He follows it up with a Crossroads. Now, this was the crazy part of the match. Not too crazy, but Cody hits the super cutter off the top, and then he hits another Crossroads, and he calls for another referee out there. So the referee took a good 8 to 10 seconds to get out there. He comes down to the ring, but Gunther kicks out at 2 again. So that's 2 times the Crossroads. So then both men are now battling out on the top rope. Gunther then hits a missile drop kick, and he follows it up with a power bomb. Sami Zayn. So the new referee goes to count. Gunther hit his finishing power bomb that he beat so many people with. He hits it on Cody. Referee counts 1, 2. Sami Zayn pulls the referee out before he can count to 3. Back in the ring, Sami Zayn hits a Helluva kick to Gunther. And then Cody Rhodes goes for a quick victory with a roll-up. And Sami Zayn counts to 3 really fast. Cody Rhodes picks up the 1, 2, 3 on a very fast count from Sami Zayn. So Cody retained, but Cody nor Gunther was very happy about that. Said this is not how we do things, what Cody told him. After the match, Nick Aldis confronting Sami Zayn. He is irate on Sami getting involved. Nick obviously didn't think that Gunther powerbombed Sami before he did what he did, though, ultimately. Sorry, lost place. Yeah, that's very expected though. With Roman not being on the card at Night of Champions, had to have big stars, and the Undisputed Championship is a World Heavyweight Championship at the end of the day. So we're not gonna not have them on the card. So Nick Aldis is really mad. Gunther walks out, so they get to the back, go to the backstage, see Gunther arguing with Nick Aldis. They're still inside Gorilla. All three of them are arguing. Gunther, Cody, and Sami. Gunther lays waste to Sami Zayn, and Gorilla tells Cody and Nick Aldis he wants a rematch. Cody Rhodes also wasn't happy with the way things turned out. Cody Rhodes takes off through Gorilla, makes his way back out to the ring. He gets on the microphone and says, "Kansas City, Missouri, we're not going to have this turn out like this." He calls for another referee to restart the match. So another referee comes out there. We're getting the second match of the night with Cody and Gunther. Cody demanded that the match be restarted. So we go to the second match. Gunther runs out to the ring. Him and Cody begin exchanging right hands in the middle of the ring. Gunther then immediately goes to a sleeper hold. Cody Rhodes then tries to fight out of it, and he breaks free and applies a sleeper hold on Gunther. Back and forth with the sleeper hold. Sami Zayn then makes his way out again to the ring, and he goes for the haluva kick. It looked like on Cody, because Gunther had Cody in the sleeper hold up against the turnbuckle. So when Sami went for the haluva kick, Cody moves out of the way. He hits Gunther with the haluva kick. Sami Zayn then knocks out the referee. He then hits Cody Rhodes in the head with the Undisputed WWE Championship, and the referee calls for the bell. So we have a disqualification. Sami Zayn has lost the plot. So this was due to disqualification. Actually, Gunther won this match due to a disqualification. Cody retained the WWE Championship. After the match, Sami Zayn throws down the belt and he utters a word that USA would not approve. Cody Rhodes then sits in the ring, not certain of what is going on once he wakes up from getting hit with the belt. It looks like he had his head was swollen again right there where same thing that happened at WrestleMania with Randy Orton, or maybe the night that Randy Orton attacked him. So, some more drama with Cody, Sami, and Gunther. Obviously, that match gets made official later in the night. Gunther storms all the way back to the back again. Tells Nick Aldis in the back that he's not doing his job, and it is his fault that Gunther didn't win the title. And Gunther demands a rematch at Night of Champions with Cody Rhodes. So we then take a look back at what happened with Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. As I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Tiffany Stratton will defend the United States Championship against Jade Cargill at Night of Champions. So we go to Kathy Kelly. She's with Jade Cargill. Kathy Kelly asks Jade where her focus is. Jade then asks if there's a problem. Jade then says she does what she wants. Jade then says that her, B5, and Meacham run the division. Jade then says they will take a pit stop at Tiffany Stratton at Night of Champions. B5 then asked why did Tiffany get involved when she isn't in the Queen of the Ring, talking about the first round match where Tiffany Stratton and Alexa Bliss both got involved to help Charlotte Flair. Mentioning says Charlotte Flair took Jade's spot. Jade then challenges Tiffany, says she wants a match with Tiffany Stratton for the Women's United States Championship at Night of Champions next Saturday from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Jade Cargill is very confident she's confident she will beat Tiffany Stratton next Saturday for the Women's United States title. As I mentioned before, that is the end of that segment. Finally, the Women's United States title is going to be defended at a PLE. So then, going back to everything that happened at the beginning of the program, the match that whole segment went for close to 30 minutes, which is way too long. We see Gunther walk up to Nick Aldis, and Gunther says he was screwed over twice tonight. Gunther says he doesn't think Nick Aldis is fit for his job. Gunther says he wants a rematch at Night of Champions, which Cody will answer to that later on tonight. So then we take a look at the King of the Ring tournament match from last week. First round match with Jey Uso, Javon Evans, LA Knight. Not Javon Evans, I'm sorry. Jey Uso, LA Knight, Ben Balor, and Royce Keys. We head to the back with Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, another segment with them. Solo says, I don't know what you're doing here, but the answer is still no. Jacob Fatu says he is here to make sure he's not here for that. He said he's here to make sure. I'm going to send him there to make sure that no one gets involved in Jey Uso's King of the Ring semifinal match tonight against Javon Evans. Jacob Fatu then tells Solo, even though I'm not here for that, I think you're making the wrong decision. Jacob Fatu then says the OTC isn't going to wait too long. He says Solo Sikoa is running out of time to make the right choice. And Solo had a weird look on his face. Is he going to take them up on their offer? Tama Tonga then walks up to Solo Sikoa and asks him what is going on with Jacob Fatu. Solo then explains everything. He then says he wants a tag team championship match. Tama Tonga then tells Solo Sikoa to stay back since his family business is starting to mess with their family business. Tama Tonga then says he doesn't know who Solo Sikoa is out there for. Tama Tonga then says all they care about tonight is winning the tag team championship. Is Solo Sikoa considering a return to Roman Reigns' bloodline on Raw? It's the second segment we've seen with Solo and Jacob. So we get another, I don't know, Blake Monroe, another vignette. Why do they keep doing these? I don't know. They're starting to make Blake look like Veer Mahan. But he's coming soon. We do get another vignette of Blake Monroe. Hopefully we see her next week in London. She is from there, so I guess that's what they're holding off for. I don't know what else they would be waiting on. She's doing a vignette, same one she's been doing, but this time it is directed at Julia. She says she met Julia before in the land of the rising sun. Blaketon says she knew that Julia would get to the dance. Blaketon says you forgot your step, and it has clouded your vision. Blaketon tells her not to cry when she passes up Julia. It's like glamour is forever. So another segment, another video package vignette from the glamour herself, Blake Monroe. She's coming soon again, even though she's already debuted. So I don't know why they did that. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see Blake next week. That is the fourth vignette. First one was to Rhea Ripley. And then I believe it was to Charlotte Flair. And then Tiffany Stratton. And this is the fourth one that Blake Monroe has done. This time it was to Julia. So we will go to the next matchup of the night. It is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Damian Priest and R-Truth will be defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championship against the MFTs, Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga. They told Solo to stay away. Will he stay away, though, is the question. So all four men are in the ring. The match starts off with Damian Priest and Tala Tonga. Both men lock up. Damian Priest then hits a series of right hands and hits Tala Tonga with a couple of forearms. Tala then hits Priest with a shoulder tackle. Tala then corners Tama and tags Tama in. Damian Priest fights back with a flying elbow, then hits several right hands on Tama in the corner. R-Truth then gets the tag. R-Truth then hits Tama Tonga with a splash. R-Truth then hits a series of shoulder tackles, and he follows it up with the 5-knuckle shuffle. R-Truth then goes for the AA. He's replicating John Cena. Tala Tonga distracts him, allowing Tama Tonga to send R-Truth to the outside. R-Truth then runs into a big boot. Damian Priest then launches himself off the steel steps. Tala Tonga plants him on the apron. Tama Tonga then sends R-Truth back into the ring and then begins to pound away at him. Tama Tonga then tags in Tala Tonga. Tala then continues to beat down on R-Truth. Tama Tonga then applies a half Boston Crab on R-Truth and begins to target his lower back. R-Truth tries to fight back, but Tama Tonga regains control. Tama then applies a rear chin lock in the middle of the ring. The WWE fans are trying to rally R-Truth. He finally gets the tag to Damian Priest. Damian Priest has a series of right hands to Tama. Priest then hits Tama with a spinning heel kick. Priest knocks Tala Tonga off the apron. Damian then hits a splash to Tama in the corner, and he follows it up with a flatliner. Goes for the pin. Tama kicks out at 2. Excuse me, Busman. Tala Tonga then goes for a choke slam. Damian Priest sends him over the top rope. Tama Tonga then hits Damian with a snap neck breaker. And then Solo Sikoa, which Tama Tonga and Tama Tonga told Solo Sikoa not to come out tonight, but he came out anyway. Solo makes his way down to the ring. Damian Priest takes him out. He then sends Tala Tonga into the ring post, and then R-Truth comes from behind. So Damian Priest comes over there, and he's getting ready to attack Solo Sikoa or Tala Tonga. Solo Sikoa pushed Tala Tonga out of the way. Damian Priest ends up taking Solo Sikoa out, and then Damian Priest picks up Tala Tonga and posts him on the outside. And then R-Truth comes up from behind Tama Tonga and gets the quick roll up for the 1, 2, 3. Wwe Up has retained the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. And that was a lot of new dissension brought to the MFTs. The winners and still WWE Tag Team Champions, Damian Priest and R-Truth. After the match, Solo Sikoa that gets on the aprons. But you can hear Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga saying something to Solo Sikoa. And it looked like to me they said, "We're done." I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where they go from here with the story. That MFT end up walking away from Solo Sikoa. So then we go backstage again. Another backstage segment. It's a 3-hour show, guys, so it's a lot of backstage segments. You see Sami Zayn is in the back with Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae. Johnny Gargano is still planking on the crate. What's going on? Good to see the Unseen Bling, CFO of DWE TV. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to the Unseen Bling and Miami the Great for DWE Radio at, I believe it's 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. It may be 3. I don't know. But make sure you guys follow DWE Television, and I will go over all that before the end of the night to tell you where you can find DWE Radio tomorrow. Several different platforms that you can catch that live, as they do a really good breakdown of everything that has happened on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and just a lot of stuff that's going on in the company. So a really good show, and make sure you guys tune into that tomorrow. I definitely will be locked in. Thanks for retweeting, or not retweeting, but sharing my stream. What did? But make sure you guys tune in to Unseen Bling. Follow her on X and Miami the Great, and make sure you can follow the DWE television page that we are live on X, or you can go to Talk It Up Podcast on YouTube. It's also on Twitch as well as on Spotify. So I'll go over all that later on at the end of the broadcast, where you can find DWE Radio tomorrow. Just make sure you tune in. So we see Sami Zayn, and he is in the back with Johnny Gargano, and he's still planking on a crate, which I don't know how long that they're going to continue this. I can't say that there's anything good about what they're doing with Johnny Gargano. He's literally been planking on a crate for close to 2 months. It's definitely time to do something. Maybe they're starting to maybe they're going to pull him off of it soon, since they're telling the story with Sammy. I don't know. They got to do something because he's planking. But Sami Zayn is talking to the lifeless Johnny Gargano that's planking on the crate. And he says the hardest thing to do is to stay true to yourself. He's talking to Johnny. And Candice is just shaking her head like, I don't know what to do with him. Sami Zayn then says half give up for doing one thing, but he loses the other half. Then Nick Aldis comes up. He yells at Sami Zayn for the fast count, since he ruined the championship match tonight. Nick Aldis says, "What were you thinking?" to Sami. Sami says, he points at Nick Aldis and says, "You were the one that asked me you were the one that made me the referee for tonight." Which he did, but it's also Gunther as well. Sami Zayn then tells Nick Aldis he called it right down the middle. Sami then says, Gunther powerbombed me. I didn't attack him until he powerbombed me, which he was telling the truth. He was telling the truth. Sami then says you didn't trust him. Sami then says you thought he was going to screw over Cody Rhodes, but he didn't. Sami Zayn then tells Nick, you're probably happy that your golden boy, Cody, is still the champion. Sami then says Cody should be thanking him because he is the reason he is still the champion. Sami tells Nick, if you think I'm going to go away that easy, it's not going to happen. He said, I'm not going to go away that easily. Nick Aldis is still pissed off at Sami Zayn for how he officiated the Undisputed WWE title match. So, interesting segment there from Sami. If they are going to belt him, it may happen at Night of Champions. If not, I don't know. I don't know where Punk is. You know, Punk is rumored to be facing Cody at SummerSlam. I don't think it's going to be Randy. I don't know where Randy is. I don't know. Are they going to belt Sami to SummerSlam? They could. I don't know. We will see at Night of Champions in the main event, where Sami Zayn will go for that Undisputed Championship again. He did face Drew McIntyre. I believe it was at Royal Rumble, Saudi Arabia. So, will Sami get the job done this time, or will they make him? I just don't think they're going to have the story have Sammy this strong all the way till WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. We'll see. Are they going to belt Sami Zayn? It's going to be the talk of the IWC all the way up until Night of Champions. So we see main event Jey Uso's in the back. He's clapping, getting focused for his semifinal King of the Ring tournament match against Javon Evans. Jey Uso says he is blazing past Javon Evans, and he will blaze past over Femi to win the King of the Ring. So after that, he will go to SummerSlam and challenge Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. Javon Evans stops Jey, and he says he sees Jey that Jey is already looking past him. But he said, "I wanted to stop to tell you I was a big fan." Jey then tells Javon that he will slap the taste out of his mouth. Interesting stuff there. Sorry about that, guys. Getting all my stuff together in my notes. Man. I am going to get a new cell phone tomorrow. I apologize about this. We have really bad weather here. So you guys let me know in the comments if you guys are watching live on YouTube, please hit that like button on the YouTube stream. It helps me out. If you guys did watch SmackDown tonight, the whole 3 hours, let me know in the comments. I can't see your comments. Obviously, we're live on my YouTube, my X page, and WWE Television X page. So, if you guys did watch SmackDown, leave me a comment. Tell me what you guys thought about Friday Night SmackDown. A lot of people is unhappy right now. So, Jey tells Javon he's going to slap the taste out of his mouth. So the tension begins to take off with Jey and Javon ahead of tonight's King of the Ring tournament semifinals match. Interesting stuff there. Javon tells him that you better watch how you talk to me. He calls Jey Uso Unk. So that was interesting to see that. Jey didn't like that. So later on tonight, we will see main event Jey Uso go one-on-one with the young OG himself, Javon Evans. Carmelo Hayes then makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, followed by the Absolute Ricky Saints. This is their third matchup since Ricky Saints has been on the main roster. Third time these guys have went one-on-one. If that tells you guys anything about what Creative is doing on the main roster. The winner of this match will move on to the Night of Champions PLE in Saudi Arabia and go one-on-one with Trick Williams for the United States Championship, which we did not see. I don't believe we saw Trick Williams tonight, so interesting stuff there. Maybe we'll see him next Friday on the go-home show the day before Night of Champions. So both men are in the ring. This was a great match as always. I just don't know how many times they're going to run this match. The match starts off with Ricky going for a cheap shot, but Carmelo hits him with a springboard clothesline. Ricky Saints then goes for old school, but Carmelo Hayes counters him and he wipes Ricky Saints out. Carmelo heads to the top rope and launches himself, but Ricky Saints moves out of the way. Ricky Saints then hits an uppercut and he follows it up with a running bulldog. Ricky Saints is now in control. Carmelo Hayes fires back though and hits Ricky Saints with a DDT on the apron. And then both men are back in the ring. Carmelo then goes after Ricky Saints in the corner. Carmelo Hayes hits a snap suplex, goes for the pinfall, but Ricky Saints kicks out at 2. Ricky Saints then sends Carmelo Hayes throat first into the ropes and then hits Carmelo with a delayed vertical suplex for only a count of 2. Ricky Saints then begins to bite Carmelo's hands and slams Carmelo Hayes down, hits him with a knee. Ricky Saints then applies a rear chin lock on Carmelo Hayes, in the middle of the ring. Carmella then tries to fight back, but Ricky Starks hits him with a back suplex. Carmella Hayes counters, then counters Ricky Starks, goes for the running bulldog, and Carmella counters it, and he hits a back suplex. Ricky Starks runs into a big boot. Carmella then hits a Ricky Starks with a springboard DDT, goes for the pinfall, but Carmella kicks out at 2. Carmella then hits a series of right hands, then sends Ricky Starks to the corner. Carmella Hayes then goes for the Dirty Diana. Ricky Starks counters with a pinning combination. Ricky Starks then hits Carmella with the flapjack for only a count of 2. Carmella then denies a Roshambo attempt from Ricky. Both men are down following a collision in the ring. Carmella Hayes makes his way back up to his feet, hits Ricky Starks with a Dirty Diana, and he follows it up with a cutter, but Carmella kicks out at 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Ricky Starks kicks out at 2. I apologize. Carmella then heads to the top rope and punches himself off the top rope. Ricky Starks moves out of the way again. Carmella then goes for a first 48, but Ricky Starks catches him mid-air, puts him on the top rope afterwards. Ricky Starks then trips Carmella Hayes up onto the exposed turnbuckle. Ricky Starks had taken the turnbuckle, the top off the turnbuckle. Referee didn't see it. Ricky Starks then goes for another Roshambo. Carmella Hayes countered with the first 48. And Ricky Starks then shoves Carmella Hayes into the exposed turnbuckle again and gets the 1, 2, 3. Ricky Starks for the second. This is 2 out of 3 times that Ricky Starks has beaten Carmella Hayes, and he is now the #1 contender for the United States title. He will be getting his first title match on the main roster at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, as he will be going one-on-one with Trick Williams. So looking forward to seeing Trick and Ricky Starks at Night of Champions, as will Ricky Starks and Trick Williams. Decent. He's had a decent run since WrestleMania with the United States title. We'll see. So then we go to the back and we see Nick Aldis. He is on the phone. Cody Rhodes then walks in with a backwards hat. I don't think I've ever seen him wear a backwards hat. Nick Aldis tells Cody he's working on a solution. Cody then says Sammy can be a lot, but he is tired of catering to Gunther and Sami Zayn. Cody then tells Nick Aldis he said he wants to beat them both in a triple threat match at Night of Champions. Nick Aldis said that sounds good, and it said it will be official. So that will be the main event, I'm guessing. I would think so. At Night of Champions, Cody Rhodes will defend the undisputed WWE Championship against the reigning General Gunther. His 4th matchup with Gunther and Sami Zayn, the last real good guy left. This is getting good. We'll see. Can Sami pull out the upset? Cody does not have to be pinned, so this is a way. If WWE going to strike with Sami Zayn, they can have Sami pin Gunther. But I don't know how many more times. I don't know. They're booking Gunther to look like a geek. So I don't know. We'll see. So we didn't see Cathy Kelly, and she is with the Queen, Charlotte Flair. She is getting ready for her Queen of the Ring semifinal match against the WWE Women's Raw champion, Liv Morgan. Cathy Kelly asked Charlotte about being Queen of the Ring if she wins. Charlotte Flair then says she has done it all, but the hunger has never faded. Charlotte then says she has not won a women's world title in 2 years. Charlotte then says she has proven that she is a queen with or without the Queen of the Ring crown. Charlotte then says if she wins tonight and beats Io Scott, Night of Champions, she will wear the crown again. Charlotte then says she will show why she is the queen then, now and forever. Charlotte Flair is ready to be the queen of the ring. So that was a good promo by Charlotte. We then look at the Danhausen stuff with the New York Knicks, even if he wasn't there for the parade. Then you see Danhausen. He is with The Miz and Kit Wilson. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really see too much of this. So I'll just give you guys the info on what I saw. He checks to see they're fixed. We get Angel and Berto show up, and they said that Danhausen was supposed to curse the Knicks, so they lost thousands of dollars. Then we see Matt Cardona show up. He tells them he lost his watch, but you don't see him complaining because his team won. Danhausen thanks Zack Ryder talking to Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona says, "My name is Matt Cardona." Matt Cardona checks on Miz and Kit Wilson. Matt throws out some Zack Ryder catchphrases. Danhausen is very popular housing right now. So another segment with Danhausen. Look, I would look for them to do something with Danhausen for sure at Saturday Night's main event coming up in July on Madison Square Garden. So we got to another backstage segment where we see Finn Balor, who fell a little short in the King of the Ring first round match last week. He congratulates R-Truth on his win tonight. R-Truth says they have gotten ahead of themselves. Finn says it was what Truth said. R-Truth says he has an idea for a title match for Finn. I don't know what he was talking about there. We'll see. Damian Priest shows up, and he says he is not going to go anywhere with R-Truth or Finn Balor, or he said he's not going to go anywhere with anyone he does not trust. He's looking at Finn Balor. Damian Priest says, whatever celebration you're setting up, don't include him because he doesn't go places with people he does not trust. Finn Balor, and then R-Truth looks at Finn Balor and says, why doesn't he trust me? And Finn just looked at him crazy. And he said, well, he's not talking to you because you just got here. So, funny segment there from R-Truth. So we then see how Sami Zayn benefited from his questionable behavior tonight to get an undisputed WWE title match at Night of Champions. So we are set for the men's King of the Ring semi-final match as main event. Jey Uso. We got a couple of comments from Peter Anthony. Could King Kong Bundy had a better push in WWE? Would have been great. Him versus Mark Henry would have been great. Yeah, I agree. Will Ted DiBiase Jr. return in WWE? I don't think so, but you never know. You never know. I doubt it. Seriously doubt it, though. But you never know. So Jey Uso makes his way down to the ring for the King of the Ring semifinal match, followed by the young OG, Ron Evans. Both men, whoever wins this match goes on to the United Champions, will face the ruler over Femi in the King of the Ring finals. Both men are in the ring. They lock up. Jey Uso applies a side headlock. Javon Evans fights out of it. Jey Uso then shoves Javon Evans, but Javon Evans hits Jey Uso with a standing drop kick. Jey Uso then rolls out of the ring. They go back in the ring. Javon Evans hits Jey with another drop kick, then launches himself over the top rope, wiping out Jey. Back in the ring, Jey Uso offers Evans a handshake, but Javon Evans hits him with a big right hand. Javon then hits several right hands on Jey in the corner. Jey then trips Javon Evans up and gives him a taste of his own medicine there. Javon then hits another standing drop kick, goes for the pin, but Jey kicks out. Javon then hits a big uppercut to Jey, and he follows up with a flying cross body. What happened to CM Punk? He's coming back. He's going to be at Fanatics Fest in New York. CM Punk will be back in the next 2 weeks. hopefully they start some sort of build for him for SummerSlam, whether that's with Cody or whatever direction they plan on going. Punk is definitely back soon, really soon. So then Javon delivers a big uppercut to Jay, follows it up with a flying crossbody for another near fall. Jay Uso tries to fight back, but Javon hits him with a big boot and follows it up with a snap suplex. Javon hits a thunderous chop to Jay Uso. Jay Uso then hits Javon with a Samoan drop that targets Javon's busted ribs. So he did have his ribs busted up. Oh, what happened, Final Ball? Javon or Ted DiBiase. So WWE did a good job of the continuation with Javon. Talked about that earlier. He did get speared Monday. They didn't have that be the sole reason he lost, but they definitely played that up. And Javon was selling those ribs. They were taped up. So Jey Uso goes after those busted ribs that from Braun Breaker's spear on Monday night. Javon then tries to fight back, but Jay hits him with the right hand. He then follows it up with a backbreaker. Jay then sends Javon Evans flying into the barricade. The fight spills to the outside. Jey Uso then sends Javon into the barricade again. Then he hits a suicide dive. But Javon Evans does beat the count back in. Jey Uso sends him to the outside again, trying to get Javon counted out. Javon then comes back in the ring, hits Jey Uso with a super kick, and sends him into the time. Oh, this is on the outside. Sorry, he sends him into the timekeeper's area. Oh, you're tired. I don't blame you. It's like 12:30 on the East Coast. I'll be glad when this show's over at 10 on the East Coast, not 11. It's too late. 3 hours is too long. Next week is the last. Well, next week is taped Tuesday, but it will be on Friday. But it will be the last 3-hour show till January, coming up next Friday. So we won't have any more 3-hour shows after next Friday until January. The problem with WWE is the leaks they have, and they sort of spoil them, like giving away results, who would arrive. This itself destroys WWE's best moments. I mean, it does to an extent, but they are able to swerve a lot. They've been definitely doing a better job with that. But yeah, but they're never going to be able to get rid of that. So back in the ring, Jey Uso hits Javon with a super kick. He goes for a pinfall, but he kicks out at 2. Jey then hits the top rope, but Javon cuts him off. Javon then hits the Spanish fly. Both men are down. Javon then goes for a cover. Jey Uso kicks out at 2. Both men then trade strikes in the middle of the ring. Both men then exchange super kicks. Both men are down. Jey Uso then super kicks Javon Evans. He follows it up with a spear, but Javon kicks out at 2. Jey Uso then goes for another spear, but then Javon hits him with a super kick, and then he hits him with a red dot. He then goes for the OG cutter, but Jey Uso trips him up and hits Javon Evans with a spear, and he follows it up with the Uso splash off the top rope for the 1, 2, 3. Main event, Jey Uso has beaten Javon Evans and will go to the King of the Ring tournament finals at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, where he will go one-on-one with the ruler Oba Femi. WWE has definitely booked it this way with Oba telling 2 different stories with him and Brock. Oba said he was going to win the King of the Ring, but majority of his promos have been about Brock, so they got to show their hand at Night of Champions. So are they going to do Oba and Brock at SummerSlam and give these main event, the night 1 or night 2 main event to Jey Uso? We will find out next Saturday from Saudi Arabia. After the match, though, Jey Uso helps Javon Evans up, shakes his hand, and then he raises Javon Evans' hand in respect for the matchup tonight. And what he has a lot. The family has a lot of respect for Javon Evans. So Javon Evans is a star. So it's going to be a future King Jay. And we see Jacob Fatu is watching this on the monitor. Interesting stuff there. So then Solo Sikoa walks up to Jacob. Again, another segment with Solo and Jacob. He tells Jacob, he says, he's got it all figured out. Solo then says, Roman Reigns sent you here so you can get in his head, stick your nose in our business. So it says, well, if that's the case, if Roman Reigns continues to mess with his family, he said, then I will have no choice to come to his show to start messing with his family. Interesting stuff there from Solo Sikoa. We'll see. So then they do a video package with Julia. She says many areas started her career. Julia then says she got real with Kiana James in her father's homeland of Italy. Julia then says next week SmackDown is in the city. She was born in London. Julia then says it is time that she and Kiana James end this. Julia then says in London, we will see who is the best without the other. So that match is official next week on SmackDown. Julia goes one-on-one with Kiana James. We will see JC Jane go one-on-one with Paige next week, also on SmackDown. That is a match that I've been looking forward to, JC and Paige. So then we go to another backstage segment with Kathy Kelly, and she is with the Women's United States Champion, Tiffany Stratton. Kathy Kelly asked Tiffany about Jade Cargill's challenge. Tiffany says Jade is desperate. She doesn't need sidekicks like Jade. Then Chelsea Green shows up. She talks about how she is by Tiffany's side. Tiffany then asks for some time alone with Chelsea Green. Oh my God, my phone goes. Apologize. We have a hurricane that just hit not too far from here, so our weather has been really bad since last night. I apologize, guys. I'm almost there. You guys, what did you guys think of the King of the Ring semifinal match with Jey Uso and Javon Evans? Did they pick the right winner? Will Jey Uso beat Owa Femi? It's a big matchup. Owa's tough to beat. Let's see. So Tiffany says Jade is desperate. She doesn't need sidekicks. Chelsea shows up. Tiffany tells Kathy Kelly to give her some time alone with Chelsea Green. She says that Chelsea Green has been tormenting her for a year, and now she wants to be her friend. Tiffany then says she does not want to work with you, Chelsea. So, I don't know. We'll see. Will Chelsea Green come into play at the United Champions PLE where Tiffany Stratton defends against Jade Cargill? We then get the NXT origin that we saw Monday on Raw of the Goddess Alexa Bliss. So then we go and we're getting ready for the main event. It is the Women's Queen of the Ring semifinals with the WWE Raw Women's Champion Liv Morgan and the Queen Charlotte Flair. We see Liv Morgan. She says Charlotte Flair wants to be Queen of the Ring. Liv Morgan says this was a Liv Morgan segment. She then says it's a shame it ends tonight. Liv Morgan says you're the past. Morgan says, this tournament is to prove who the best of the best is. Liv says, it is not you anymore. Liv says, she will show what happens when you are in the presence of the greatest women's champion of all time and the first champion to become the women's queen of the ring. So we get another segment, videos package segment interview promo from the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Brie Bella and Paige. They say it's been nonstop since WrestleMania and it hasn't been easy. Paige says they overcame the odds to become champions and they will need to do it again on Monday against Laura Valkyria and Bayley. She then says they are two of the best to grace the ring. Paige says they're up for the challenge. Brie Bella then says they respect Laura and Bayley, but they will win on Monday. That match will happen Monday on Raw for the Women's Tag Team Championship. So we see Fatal Influence in the backstage area. JCJ says things didn't go as planned last week. JC then says she holds the referee responsible for throwing her out. JC then says she thinks the rules don't apply to so-called legends. Fallon Henley then says she can't believe that Paige and Brie think they're better than them. Laney then calls them pathetic. Laney Reed says they have Paige and Brie exactly where they wanted them. She then says that Paige and Brie walk out of Raw with those titles. The Fatal Influence will be waiting for them. JC Jane then says she will talk to Nick Aldis next week and get a match against Paige in London. JC Jane then says she will embarrass Paige in front of her family. So that match looks to be happening next week. Paige will go one-on-one with JC Jane live from London, SmackDown. So another backstage segment, we see the American Nightmare, the Undisputed SmackDown Heavyweight Champion, Cody Rhodes. He congratulates Jey Uso on the back. So tells Jey you have one left to go. Jey then says it will be him over Femi, and then Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Cody then says, you do have one more, and don't forget about that it's over Femi. And he says, but one thing you always know is I'm easy to find. Sami Zayn then walks up. He asks Jey how he's doing. Jey then says he's doing good, and he asks Sami about himself. Sami then says Jey is doing great, and he thinks he will win the King of the Ring, but he doesn't think he will be facing Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. He thinks it's going to be him. He then says what happens when that takes place. Jey then says he will do what he has to do. Sami then tells Jey to say hi to the family for him. So they're definitely teasing a title change with Sami, but we'll see if they pull the string on it. So Charlotte Flair is getting ready to come out for the main event, the Women's Queen of the Ring semifinals against Liv Morgan. We see Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Micha and greet Charlotte Flair in the back. Jade tells Charlotte she won the match because of Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte then tells them that Tiffany is not her friend. She then tells Jade she can beat. I know you're jealous, but you're not going to win the Queen of the Ring. She says you can be in the Queen of the Ring next year, and she can get moving along. She tells Jade and them to get moving along. Then B-Fab then attacks Charlotte Flair from behind. Meechin holds the leg while Jade Cargill kicks Charlotte. And we see Alexa Bliss and Nick Aldis and other and the people in the back are checking on Charlotte Flair. She is attacked by the Baddies 2.0, Jade, Meechin, and B-Fab. So when they're back from commercial break, we see a recap of what just happened to Charlotte. Charlotte tells Nick Aldis and them and the people on the back that she's fine. She's obviously not. She can't really put any weight on her leg. Liv Morgan walks past Charlotte. She laughs and she says, "She will see." She says, "I will see you out there." Charlotte Flair tells them to. Liv Morgan makes her way down to the ring, and this is the main event. Charlotte Flair tells Nick Aldis that she has it. Charlotte Flair then tells the production team, she says, "Play my music." She limps her way down to the ring. for the main event of the night. This is what I talked about at the beginning of the stream. I was okay with Liv winning, but I do feel like it makes her look a little weak because Charlotte was attacked backstage before the match. I don't know. I don't think that made the champion look very strong. But Charlotte limped out there. She does end up getting in the match. There's no Judgment Day, no Dominic Mysterio, no Roxanne Perez, or Raquel Rodriguez. So Liv was going to have to win this one on her own. Well, besides Jade and them attacking Charlotte, but she's out there on her own. So the match starts off with Liv Morgan hitting a baseball slide to knock Charlotte Flair off the apron. She falls to the floor, and out comes the Nick Aldis and them to check on Charlotte as she was injured backstage. Charlotte Flair refuses medical attention. Nick Aldis tells Charlotte to think about her future. She says she has no choice. She ends up telling Alexa Bliss that the same thing. Charlotte Flair then avoids Liv Morgan in the corner, and she clotheslines Liv. Liv then dives at the knee, and she takes Charlotte Flair down. Charlotte is in excruciating pain. Liv Morgan kicks Charlotte to the floor and sends the injured leg into the apron. Liv Morgan sends Charlotte Flair into the ring steps. Back in the ring, Charlotte finally makes her way back in the ring. She knocks Liv Morgan to the mat, hits an elbow. Charlotte Flair then knocks Liv off the apron. Liv Morgan then fired back, continues to target Charlotte's left knee. Liv goes for a cover, but Flair kicks Charlotte, kicked out of 2. Liv Morgan then hits a snap suplex, sending Charlotte Flair's injured leg into the ropes. Charlotte Flair then countered with a snap suplex of her own, trying to get some feeling back in that leg. She then heads to the top rope, where she having a lot of difficulty getting to the top rope. She hits a crossbody on Liv, but Liv kicks out at 2. Both women then trade strikes in the middle of the ring. Charlotte Flair then hits her Flair chop to Liv. Liv then tosses Charlotte across the ring. Then Liv goes to throw Charlotte into the corner, but she goes for a clothesline, but Charlotte hits a big boot to Liv. And then Charlotte collapses, can't put any weight on her leg. Liv Morgan then targets Charlotte's left leg again. Then Morgan then launches herself off the top rope. Then Charlotte catches her with a big boot. Then Morgan hits a powerbomb and she stacks Charlotte Flair up. Charlotte kicked off. Then Morgan applies a half off the crab on the top rope. Charlotte Flair then rolls to the outside of the ring. Liv Morgan then tries to slam Charlotte onto the announce desk. Charlotte sends Liv Morgan's head onto the desk. Liv Morgan sends Flair into the post. Then back in the ring. Then Morgan goes for an Oblivion finisher. Charlotte counters with a German suplex for a count of 2. Then Morgan targets Charlotte for a knee again, hits the 3 amigos. She then follows it up with a kick. Charlotte tries to fight back through a leg injury, but Liv Morgan launches herself off the top rope. Charlotte gets her knees up. Charlotte Flair then hits a backbreaker to Liv. Liv then hits a chop block on Flair's left knee, and she is really working over that injured leg and knee. Then Morgan then runs into another big boot from Charlotte, and then Charlotte hits the natural selection from the top rope. But Liv kicks out at 2. Charlotte Flair then applies a figure 8 with her busted leg. She puts her in the figure 8. But Liv Morgan tries to fight out of it. Liv tries to reverse it, but Charlotte locks it in again. Liv Morgan then makes it to the ropes to force a break. Liv Morgan then back on her feet hits another chop block to back of the damaged knee of Charlotte Flair. She then applies a single leg Boston Crab. Charlotte Flair then makes it to the ropes, but the damage has already been done. Nick Aldis is out again with the medical team to stop Charlotte. She isn't giving up yet. This is where Alexa Bliss come out, and she told Alexa, "You know me, and you know I'm not going to quit." She finds a way to get back in the ring. Liv Morgan grabs her by the hair, pulls her back into the ring. Liv then hits Charlotte with an Oblivion. But Charlotte kicks out at 2. The damage is done. Liv Morgan then applies a single leg Boston Crab again, and the Queen Charlotte Flair taps out. So Liv Morgan tapped out Charlotte Flair. She is the winner of the Queen of the Ring tournament semifinal match. And she is the Raw Women's Heavyweight Champion. And she will be going to the Queen of the Ring finals to face the Genius of the Sky, Io Sky. With the winner getting a championship. Well, Liv is already a champion, but we'll see. Liv wants to be the first women's champion to win the Queen of the Ring. After the match, Liv Morgan stands tall, and that is your Friday Night SmackDown. Once again, I will run over the match card. Obviously, I will be live next Friday for SmackDown recap. I will go over the 6 matches that are planned for the Night of Champions PLE. Cody Rhodes will defend the Undisputed Championship against Sami Zayn and Gunther in a triple threat match. Trick Williams defends the United States title against Ricky Saints. And Braun Breaker goes one-on-one with Seth Rollins in a steel cage. Tiffany Stratton will defend the Women's United States Championship against Jade Cargill. And then we have the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring finals. Starting with the Queen of the Ring finals. The Raw Women's Champion, Liv Morgan, in the finals will face Io Sky. And the King of the Ring, Femi, will go one-on-one with main event Jey Uso. Good night. I just saw that. Thank you so much. So that is your card, your 6-match card for the United Champions PLE coming up next Saturday. Next Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, live on ESPN from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. With that being said, guys, this has been your Raw recap live here on the EVP show. Not Raw, SmackDown, I'm sorry. Friday, June 19th, 2026. Once again, if you are watching live on YouTube, please hit that like button on the stream. That helps me out in the algorithm. We're also live on my X page and on DWE Television X. Once again, you can hit that follow button on X of DWE Television. I will give you the rundown of everybody affiliated with DWE Television. First off, you've seen her earlier, Unseen Bling, CFO of DWE TV, and Miami the Great. You can catch them live tomorrow on DWE Radio. I believe it's at 4 p.m. Eastern. But if you follow DWE Television on X, it will be, if you want to watch it there, you can watch it there. You got to Talk It Up podcast on YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe button and join them on YouTube as well as Twitch. I believe it's DWE Television and DWE TV on Twitch. They will be live tomorrow on there as well. And then you can also listen to it on Spotify. So make sure you follow them on X and all their platforms for DWE Television. Miami the Great also has Inside the Mind with Miami as he's getting you ready for the upcoming football season, NFL season. On Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch him live for that. And then Kyle the Man Anthony, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch him live for the new show that premiered last week, Queens of WWE. He will be talking everything women's division, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. You can also catch Kyle the Man Anthony with the World of Greg every Monday, an hour before Monday Night Raw, as they will be doing the rundown of the entire Raw card and getting you ready for Monday Night Raw. So follow both of them on X and tune in to Monday, I believe at 1 p.m. Eastern, for the rundown with Kyle the Man Anthony and the World of Greg. And you can catch Kyle Anthony again Wednesday night, this coming up Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the Queens of WWE. Also, Director Reg on X, After Sign Podcast on X, and on YouTube. Smoke Session Podcast and Sports Jedi Network, as well as everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to the SmackDown recap. June 19th, 2026 on the EVP show. I will be back to tell you guys where you can find me on my socials, what I have coming up for the rest of this weekend and next week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, show recaps prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the SmackDown recap here on the EVP show, Friday, June 19th, 2026. As far as where you can find me on my social, they are scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but all my links are in my bio. If you're looking for me on X, you can find me at EVPCJP on X. If you scroll all the way up to the top of my X page, you will see my YouTube page, and at the top of my X page. So if you are subscribed, make sure you turn on the notification bell on YouTube. Also on X, you can share my YouTube link with your friends and family if you enjoy the daily wrestling content here. Also on Instagram, you can find me at EVPCJP, same handle, where you can see all of my upcoming videos made by Miami the Great and the World of Greg from my upcoming streams. On TikTok, you can find me at Brady the Goat 21. That's at BRADYDA Goat 21. On Instagram and TikTok, you will see my YouTube in my bio. Last but not least, most importantly, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you cannot find my YouTube channel on any of my social media platforms, you can go to the top of the right-hand corner, go to the search bar, and type in at the EVP show. As I said earlier, if you are subscribed, you can turn the notification bell on, and you will be reminded when I go live. What I have coming up for the rest of this weekend. Tomorrow I'm off, but don't miss out on DW Radio live tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, I'm back for doubleheader Sunday, starting off at 6 p.m. Eastern with Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. You can come back at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Sunday night for LFG Season 3, Episode 9 recap show. Monday, Raw is live at 2 p.m. Eastern from the O2 Arena in London, England. You can catch me live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the Raw recap. Tuesday night, I'm back at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT recap show. Wednesday, I'll be joined by a full panel, as we will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. We will be predicting the WWE United Champions, NXT Great American Bash, and AEW Forbidden Door PLEs. So set that notification bell on, come join us live Wednesday, and make your predictions in the comments for all three of those great PLEs coming up. Thursday night, I'm back at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the Go Home TNA right before the TNA Slammiversary is coming up, not this weekend, but next. You can catch me live Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the TNA Impact recap show. Friday night is the Go Home show before the Night of Champions PLE in Saudi Arabia and the last 3-hour show. Tune in live at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the SmackDown recap show. Next Saturday, I'm not usually live on Saturdays unless it's PLE week, and it is a 7-day week next week. So tune in live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern next Saturday for the Night of Champions recap show. And then next Sunday, there will not be a Sunday Night Scoop on the 28th or an LFG recap show, but you can tune in live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern next Sunday for the NXT Great American Bash recap show. So I have a full 7 days for you guys next week. Turn that notification bell on and come join me live next week for 7 days of daily wrestling content. With that being said, guys, thank you once again to everybody tuned in. If you are watching live on YouTube, or go back and watch the stream live on YouTube, please hit the like button. And I will make sure you tune in to DW Radio tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Join me live Sunday for doubleheader Sunday starting up at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Sunday Night Scoop with the EVP. And then I'm back late Sunday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the LFG Season 3, Episode 9 recap show. Hopefully, you guys enjoy your weekend and your Saturday, and I will see you back here Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern and 11:30 p.m. Eastern Sunday for Sunday Night Scoop, EVP, and the LFG Season 3, Episode 9 recap show. I am your EVP from the EVP show and the Golden Boy of DWE, and DWE is the only place to be. Guys, have a happy Saturday, and I will see you guys back Sunday for Doubleheader Sunday here on the EVP show, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday with Sunday Night Scoop with the EVP. Good night, everyone.
He's proceeded to show